What's up, my comic comrades? Today we're talking about a relatively new character created back in 2019. Yes, we all know X-23 is Wolverine's clone and or daughter, but he's also apparently had another daughter running around for quite some time that we didn't know about until recently. Her name is Reine du Rien, which in French translates to Queen of Nothing. The character debuted in Marvel Comics Presents Volume 3, Issue 5 in July of 2019. And like many aspects of Wolverine's history, her story centers around Logan's distant past, specifically 1940s France, late into the Second World War. Here we see Nazis threatening to kill a sorcerer's daughter because she's not helping them with her powers, which would assure their win in the war. And since they won't let her daughter go, she's like, very well, as Canadian soldiers look on from a hill above. We also learned that one of these Canadian soldiers just so happens to be Logan, as in Wolverine, although this is way before he joined the X-Men. Anyway, the Canadians are ready to attack the Nazis, but Logan's like, there's an innocent woman down there with her daughter. And the sergeant is like, I'm aware of that, Logan. We'll do our best to keep her safe. But they're Nazis and our job is stopping Nazis. We're soldiers and it's war. And with that, the Canadians start shooting the Nazis, but unfortunately, the sorceress, while conjuring up some magical spells, gets caught in the crossfire saying, no, I've lost my focus. This forces the sorceress to put a force field around her daughter and use said spell to not just kill the Nazis, but also the Canadian soldiers. But guess who lived? Logan, because as we all know, he has an extremely good healing factor. So much so, everyone around him was brought to a skeleton and he just kept regenerating. Anyway, we see the sorceress conjure up a demon called the Truth to save her and kill all the soldiers. She even says, I summoned you. I control you, beast. Submit. But of course, the beast doesn't submit and instead grabs her by the throat. Ah! At this point, Wolverine jumps in with claws out, starting to slash away at the Truth. But the Truth gets the upper hand, so the sorceress uses her magic and dispels, saying, back to the Inferno, beast. She then looks at Wolverine and says, you must know, I had no choice. The Nazis forced me. I would never have summoned that thing unless. And then she falls over, weak and dying from her previous wounds, saying that beast, the demon, its name is the Truth. She goes on to tell him the Truth cannot be killed, only hidden. The beast will return, and if not stopped, it will share its truth with the world. It will return roughly every 10 years at the very worst place in the world. You will be the guardian as you survive this truth. Even now, the wounds that it gave you are healing. You'll protect her from the Truth while she does the work. If she is killed, if she cannot complete the spell, the demon will be set free and all will be death. We then find out the sorcerer's name is Mary, as she dies in Logan's arms and her daughter looks on, crying. We then jump to 1954 in Kansas, where Logan is enjoying a nice ride on his motorcycle. Then all of a sudden, he's teleported to China and thrown into the Yangtze River, which had just recently flooded, claiming the lives of more than 200,000 people, some of which we could see at the bottom, which is just a little bit morbid. Anyway, Logan soon gets pulled out of the water by a woman who we learn is the daughter of the sorceress Mary. Basically, we learn everything the sorceress told Logan from earlier is true, as it is indeed 10 years later, and Logan has been called to the worst place on Earth to protect her daughter Sylvie. Sylvie is a teenager now, 15 to be exact, and knows magic but hasn't perfected it yet. Long story short, the Truth does indeed reappear, who kind of looks like Morbius the vampire a little bit. But that's neither here nor there. Point is, Logan is indeed able to protect Sylvie long enough for her to use her magic to defeat the Truth. We then jump to 1962 in Nevada, where yet again we see Logan and Sylvie teaming up to fight the Truth in the 60s. And this time the Truth looks like the Batman Beyond villain Blight. Anyway, being almost a decade later, Sylvie is now 23 and has perfected her sorcery. So she is able to make much quicker work this time around of the Truth. So much so, after the fight, she tells Logan, here, let me clean you up, and fixes all his torn clothes and makes him look freshly bathed, which is pretty much a first for Wolverine. After this, she uses her magic to teleport them to Paris, while saying, we're gonna see each other once every decade and almost die while fighting a demon that wants to end the world, forever. So I thought maybe we should get to know each other a little bit. To which Logan says, okay, and she replies, good, but this is Paris, Logan, we need to look the part. And then she uses her magic to put them in nicer clothing. They then go to a nice dinner, and one thing leads to another, and they end up sleeping with one another. But before he wakes up in the morning, she bails on him, teleporting back to her Aunt Agatha. We then get a caption in the comic that says, Sylvie did her duty that day. She had no choice. She was sent to do a job, and she did it. She did it to save her family. We basically find out that her aunt and cousins told her that since her mother is the one who cast the spell to summon the Truth, the power to do so could only be passed on through her children, and since Wolverine had already successfully helped Sylvie to defeat the Truth twice already, who else better to make a child with than Logan? We are then taken to the 1970s, where Sylvie is now married to a dude who has no powers. She also had kids with him and is pretty happy, but guess what? Another decade has passed and it's time to face the truth. Inevitably, Sylvie gets Wolverine to fight the truth once again. This time they go to Bangladesh, where the truth chose the Ebola cyclone, which was the deadliest tropical storm in history where 500,000 died. Once there, they realize that if they fight the truth together, all the civilians would die, so they have to split up. Sylvie fighting the truth, and Logan went to save the people. That didn't seem like too big a deal at first. Wolverine was saving the people, and Sylvie was beating the crap out of the truth. She almost sealed him away once again, even saying, "I did it. I did it." But at the very last second, the truth's arm rips through the portal and punches her through the abdomen and then pulls her into the portal, dragging Sylvie to hell with him. Needless to say, this haunted Logan for the next decade. Because of the obvious, the truth killing someone he came to care about, but also when the truth returned, how the heck would he get rid of him this time? Logan, being worried as the truth could pop up any day now, eventually goes to Doctor Strange, because of course that's who you go to when you're talking about demons and mystic arts. Strange is like, yeah, I'm familiar with the truth. Also, I know where Sylvie's family is. So Logan of course goes there to talk to her Aunt Agatha and cousins. And they're all like, yeah, don't worry Logan, we got this. They then teleport him back to Australia, with Logan saying, damn it. Long story short, Logan still wants to design a plan, so he recruits the Talisman. Talisman ended up setting a magical tripwire, so when the truth appeared, she would know and teleport Wolverine and the X-Men to the truth to fight and defeat him. Keep in mind, this all started in the 40s and now we're in the 90s, which we could tell as the X-Men are in their Jim Lee style costumes, which is easily my favorite iteration of the X-Men. Long story short, the tripwire works and the X-Men are notified of the truth's reemergence. So they go to fight him, but the demon is just too powerful for them. He straight up lays out Cyclops, Colossus, Storm, and even Jean Grey like nothing. We're talking some Omega level mutants here, people. And when all hope seems lost, a mysterious blonde woman shows up with magical bone claws. You heard me, magical bone claws. She then starts laying into the truth, cutting off his arm and tearing him apart before sealing him away via a portal once again. After this, Colossus is like, Logan, do you know this woman? He replies, I don't know her, Colossus, but I'm pretty sure she's my daughter. I'm gonna go out on a limb here that Logan saw the claws as a dead giveaway that they might be related. So basically, Sylvie sleeping with Logan worked because science, and now there exists the perfect person/weapon to fight the truth. This is also why Sylvie's family was very dismissive to Logan, being like, yeah, we got this, we don't need you. Anyway, after Wolverine's daughter defeats the truth, she just disappears before he could even get her name. So over the next decade, Logan looks for her. He ultimately finds her in 2008 in Mumbai, where she of course is fighting the truth. He witnesses her defeat the truth all by herself yet again. And it's here she gives her backstory to Logan, telling you everything I've been saying this entire episode. She then tells him, I am not your daughter. I'm what my family needs me to be. What the world needs. That is all. Do you understand? I am nothing to you. Rienne is nothing. You have found nothing, Logan. There is no resolution, no family, no atonement. Nothing. He replies, I spent 8 years looking for you in the worst places in the world. You think I was hunting you? I was hunting the truth. We're not gonna wait for it anymore. We're gonna find where it lives. We're going to hell. We're gonna kill that thing, and then we'll both be free. Logan then says, but I can't get there without you, Rienne. She's like, I'm not going to hell with you, Logan. You're a fool. You talk tough, but you will not kill the truth. Nothing will kill it. Logan says, I'll find a way. I always do. Or do you really want to spend the rest of your life waiting to fight it once every 10 years? You got a healing factor, just like me. The rest of your life's gonna be a long, long time. Might be forever. You're my daughter, Rienne, like it or not. I didn't know you existed, or I would have tried to help you sooner. I didn't have any say on how your family raised you. I'm guessing your mom didn't have much say in her choices either. Basically, they continue to have some sort of heart-to-heart, and Logan is able to get through to her so that she opens a portal to hell. She then says, that's it, just knock, Logan. Getting into hell is the easy part. So he goes to hell and she follows him, and the two start attacking demons left and right. And they ultimately even find Sylvie, who remember was stabbed through the abdomen by the truth and brought there decades earlier. Logan is happy to find her, of course, but he's like, we aren't here for you. We're here to kill the truth, which makes her laugh hysterically. In the end, you have past truth meeting present truth, and then an alternate version of Wolverine meeting past 616 Wolverine. It gets kind of confusing with a paradox and whatnot because comic books. But all you really need to know is it all leads them back to where they started in the 1940s, the night Sylvie's mother, Mary, summoned the truth. Sylvie and a version of Wolverine then sacrificed themselves with a spell that would lock both versions of the truth away forever. But if they were somehow summoned or made free again, the spell would also bring back Sylvie and Wolverine to fight them so that the main Wolverine and Rienne would no longer have to deal with the truth. Again, kind of confusing, but what do I say? comic books. And with all that, Rienne is now free from her life of having to fight the truth, which of course makes her incredibly happy, saying, "Hello, father." And Wolverine goes, "Oh, what?" Because again, this is now a different Wolverine from the Wolverine that met her before. She then hugs him and says, "It's very nice to meet you." And just like that, friends, you have Wolverine's secret daughter, Rienne. She's incredibly badass, possessing all the magical abilities her mother had, along with all the mutant abilities her father has. Meaning she has an amazing healing factor. Her body regenerates most, if not all, damage or destroyed tissue and organs. In short, she has Wolverine's healing factor to a T. And she's a fantastic sorceress, so much so, she could make portals to hell. And lastly, she has retractable bone claws, just like her father, but they differ in the sense that they have a blue glow around them as they're protected by her magic. And though not proven, one could assume that her claws are just as indestructible and deadly as Wolverine's adamantium ones, or even more powerful since they're covered in magic. But with all that said, I really enjoyed this story. I thought it was very well done and most of all interesting. I don't know if I personally put her above X-23 just yet, but she's cool nonetheless. But what do you guys think of Wolverine's secret daughter? Do you think she's a cool addition to the Marvel Universe and Wolverine? And do you like her backstory? Let us know in the comment section down below. And that's gonna bring today's episode of Variant to a close. But if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to check out our History of X-23 episode right here. And if you like our channel, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. But I'll see you guys next time when we talk about all things comics.